Hi, I hope y'all had a good trading day. So here, the overnight highs, the overnight lows. So I started out around 8:30ish or 8:20, so around this area here. First, I was trying to play this shorter term stuff. I drew this range, got this breakout pullback, but there's really no setup there, and then you just push higher, and then you get a two-legged correction, but it goes through the EMA, so you can't really take that long. And then you get a double top, push back below. It's just being choppy. There's really no way that you can enter in this kind of stuff. And then I drew this, so I started getting this larger trend here. It wasn't quite holding at this point because I still needed a third bounce. And eventually we did get it, but I was worried to take any longs here because we kind of just have this one leg down. I mean, you can see the two legs, but you can clearly draw it as one leg, and then it has a break. It does have an attempt lower, and then it traps higher there, so I think it might have been better than I thought, but I was just a little bit worried about it. And also, usually you don't draw super wide channels while you're still inside the range, but this is not too bad. It's not too wide. I mean, it's clearly there. It's the third bounce right there, so maybe there's something there. I just didn't think it was worth taking, but then you go into this uptrend here. You have a break. When an uptrend has a break, you can expect prices to make a new high, and you get this first entry short, second entry short, failure. But I would really want to have a break and then two clear attempts to make a new high outside of that, which you do get uptrend. Then you get a break, and then you already make a new high, and then that is a second attempt right there. But I don't think it's good because it's just congestive, and also it's already made a new high at this point. So it's just not the best entry. But here, now you have this uptrend break, first attempt higher. You're entering on the second attempt higher. It's the fourth bounce off this key entry point, and then you have two clear legs down, two measured legs down to the key entry point. And then you also have enough room to these highs because clearly there's like a triple top right here with these three swings. You have enough room to get out before that with 1 to 2 risk to reward. So I think that looks pretty good. I got filled with a limit order because I didn't want to enter on this bar because it closed inside of this downtrend here. So I waited for this bar here to close, and then it ticked higher, and then I got filled with a limit order back here. So that's how I played that one. And I wasn't scared about the EMA because the price had just chopped through it. So, I'm not afraid of it being resistance. So anyway, we go in this uptrend. Then we have two legs back. So we have a break, a couple attempts at a new high, and then it bounces off the overnight high again, making this double top here. And then now you have two clear legs down, and then it reverses. So, then it makes the new high. And pushes out of the overnight high. So you have uptrend, break, push to a new high. There's no way that you can get into this because, this is just a two legs back off of nothing. It could just go further, so I don't think it's worth taking that. Also, it looks like it has a short-term trend line anyway, so, it's kind of just trying to pick a low there, so I don't think that that's good to take as a long, so. Anyway, we push up, we make a new high, and then it immediately goes into a range. We have a push down, push higher. It's already going sideways at that point. Now you have this double bottom and this double top, so it's pretty easy to get this range at this point. And then you just push higher. You just get this first entry. You can't really take that. It's just, it is a triple top, but you clearly still have that in play. It can definitely have a push higher, have a break. Tries to make a new high for this short-term uptrend, so I just don't think that's worth taking. We push lower, you don't get an entry. Now you have a couple legs down at this point, so first leg, second leg down, and then you got the two legs down, you get the breakout, but I don't think you'd really want to be going long anyway because the uptrend just played out with a break and a new high. You're in the range, and it looks like you've got a trend down here anyway, so it's just not the best looking entry right there. I could see why someone would want to take that, but you are basically just buying at the highs with the uptrend already played out, and it could fade down into this overnight highs here. So anyway, At this point, it breaks out. You get a breakout pullback. You get a couple of them right there, and then you go into this downtrend. I really did not see anything because I got this downtrend off of here, off of these few swings here, and then you get this two-legged correction up to it, which it's kind of hard to see, but you can clearly see the two legs up there. So first one, second one, and then it's off the key entry point, but it's just really choppy and unclear. I don't think it's worth taking. But then you do get a break, and when a downtrend gets a break, you can expect prices to make a new low, especially if you're fading, but you just have one leg up. I would honestly be worried about it making a new high and then making the new low for this downtrend. So I just don't think that's worth it. Not to mention, it's a few things. It's not just because it has one leg up. It also is because it had no problem getting through the EMA. So, you know, we could just continue higher there. Could be treated as like a breakout pullback at that point. So, you know, I don't think that that's a good short, but, no, whoops. And so, anyway, now we have a downtrend break. We push down to a new low. So downtrend break, new low. We immediately go into another range. And then I saw that someone took this trade right here. All right, yeah, it was Mike. Now, I don't think it's that bad of a trade, but I personally skipped it. So what Mike saw it as, I believe, is a breakout of this range, two legs up, breakout of this range. Most breakouts fail. Retest of the overnight high. So, you know, the context isn't that bad, but I kind of had this right here, which scared me out of it. So I was just really afraid that that was in play, and I decided to just skip it. But it's not that bad of a trade. The context is all right. It's just, you know, if you're playing this uptrend here, then, you know, it's in play. So I would be worried about going short into it. So it doesn't seem to matter. It just pushes on down. You get a couple legs down here, and then here you get this little range here, breakout. Most breakouts fail. It ended up failing. I couldn't quite find an entry though because everything held above the EMA. It rushed above the EMA, and then it just held with a couple bars there. So I was afraid to go short considering it held, you know, once, twice, three times, and two of those times was after it had already broken this trend line here. So, you know, I was just thinking we could push up again. So, but then I got this downtrend here, which I got it off these lows, or it's not exactly how I had it. So I got it off these lows. It's not the clearest downtrend, but like it seems like it fits pretty well. And so we're in this downtrend, and then we get this range right here. It's very clear, and then you get first leg up, break, second leg up. So it's a two-legged move, break out of this range. Most breakouts fail. It's also a break of this downtrend, so downtrend, break, expecting a new low. And I know that it doesn't have three confirms off these highs, but you do have three confirms off the lows. You get 1, 2, 3. It seems to fit really well. Two measured legs up, and there's enough room to get out before these lows here. So, you know, to me it looks pretty good. So, anyway. Then we have the downtrend break, new low, and then it immediately tries to reverse above the EMA. It gets kind of choppy. It can't really get above. You know, you get the uptrend break, new high, and then as soon as it makes the new high, it immediately rushes back below. And then you get first leg down, second leg down, and then you get the first leg up again, closing above, and the second leg up, and then that forms these two bigger legs up. So I got these two bigger legs up, and then at this point, or it was a little bit after, but I got this bigger downtrend here, and then it fit off these lows pretty well. But we push lower. We have this downtrend. We get a small break, new low, but it looks like it's all part of the same trend there. But either way, it goes into this range. So we have these highs, lows. We're in this range. It's chopping right through the EMA. You don't get any entry here, but you can see the second entry short, but it's just all congestive, closing, you know, down into the middle of it. There's no room for a good risk to reward, so nothing I see there. And we have a couple legs down here. We go into this downtrend. We have a break, new low, and then as soon as we have a break and new low, we rush back above the EMA. But this confirms this downtrend even more at this point. Which I'm going to make it a different color just so I can see it easier. There we go. So anyway, now we have this leg up to the key entry point, but I don't see any good shorts here because it's just all inside of this uptrend. And Then you get this closeout here, but I would be afraid of it making a new high because it's a pretty strong looking uptrend. Even though it's inside this bigger downtrend, I would honestly be afraid of it making a new high. And then I just didn't want to enter on that lower high. So it's just, if I had gotten something better like rushing below the EMA, and then you get like a downtrend break, first attempt lower, and then enter on the second attempt lower below the EMA, but you just don't get anything good there. So I did not think it was worth taking. And then here, we make this low here. Then we have a first entry short, second entry short. So this is my next trade. So we had this push off the high here, which I do see that it technically broke, but I was kind of thinking, that's a pretty big downtrend. That might not even be considered a break. That might just be a bounce, because that's not a very convincing break. So, but anyway, basically what I see here is we have a downtrend break, first attempt lower, and then this entry here is the second attempt to make a new low. It's a second entry short. Clearly there's a range here, which, let me get that drawn. So we have a range here. It broke out. Most breakouts fail. It's just a tiny breakout, but it's mainly just the 2 legs back, expecting a new low for this short-term downtrend here while we're inside the bigger downtrend. And then there's enough room to get out before the lows. So to me, it looks really good. I didn't draw it. I can kind of just see what it was there, but it looks like a pretty good trade to me, just for 1-to-1, because I don't really like shorting this low, because at this point it was basically the low of the day. I didn't want to take the full 1-to-2, so I just thought I'd get out before the lows there. But and then here you can see some bigger picture stuff. We have this leg up, break, and then second leg up to this next trade here. And here's how it is. You have this leg up, and then you have a 2-legged move down, and then it makes the second leg up. And that's extremely common. So it's kind of like seeing you have this downtrend, break, first attempt lower, and then second attempt lower, and made the new low. And then you had the green light to make the second leg up here. So just thought I'd go over that. And let me go through the shorter term stuff. We have this uptrend here. We have a break, first attempt higher, second attempt higher. But I don't see a good long here because we're closing below the EMA, both swings, and then your signal bar here also had a bearish bar closing below the EMA. So I don't think it's good to go long because of that, but also because we're in this big downtrend here, so you really got to be careful going long. So it's better just to stick to shorts. So anyway, then you get these 2 legs down, and then you get the second leg up right here, almost measured. It's off the key entry point. You have a much bigger break, not much bigger, but it's a little more clear. So I was kind of just thinking of it off the key entry point again. Whether if it has a break, then you can expect a new low, and if it's a bounce, then you can expect maybe just a bounce, especially because you got the 2 clear legs up, breakout, pullback of these overnight lows. So I thought it was really good. Clearly, you're in this same kind of thing here, how I was talking about this range, but I didn't draw it. I was kind of doing the same thing here. I can see that we had a breakout of this range. Most breakouts fail. And then there's enough room down to these lows here. But sometimes I don't draw everything, even though I should. It's just a bad habit, It's just because you can just see stuff, as you get better at price action, you can just see stuff without drawing them, and then a lot of times I just won't draw them. But that's really not a good idea because sometimes it does actually screw me over. But yeah, that's how I saw it. Nice trade, and then I ended the day out on a loss, and yeah, I didn't trade most of this stuff. I basically stopped trading as soon as I took this loss. So it's really not it's just I should have avoided it. I mean, it's just an obvious not good trade. So let me go over it here. So what I was thinking was, okay, we faded this range, we rushed back above, and now we're getting a break. We're getting this bounce off the overnight low again. 2 legs down. You can kind of see them there. 2 legs down off the overnight low. Break out of this range. Most breakouts fail. But I kind of just completely blanked on this bigger downtrend here. I should have really just been, because this here's one thing to look at. Sorry. I'm kind of mixing up my words here. You have this uptrend, and then you have a break, first attempt higher, second attempt higher. And even if you want to consider this whole thing one leg up, you still have a break, attempt higher, and then a rush below the EMA after making this double top. So I should really have just been trying to find shorts, I think, to try to continue with this downtrend. Because kind of like I was saying, that's not a very convincing break. That's a little better. This is a real, very convincing break. You have downtrend, break, expecting prices to make a new low. So I feel like I should have just been looking to go short with the trend, before looking to go long. I should have waited for something like this to happen before looking for longs, but that's not it. It's also because we just have this downtrend right in play, blocking the entry. I just didn't draw it. I just didn't get it in time. I kind of just saw where it was. I just impulsively took it. I was just like, oh, fading back in, 2 legs back. So I took it, but it really was not a good trade. That was easily avoidable. But yeah, so anyway, lost 3.5 points on that. Not a big deal. And yeah, that's it for the day for me, for what I saw. I basically stopped trading as soon as I took the loss, but yeah, it's been some time, so I guess I'll just go over this. We do end up fading back in, so we have downtrend, break, clear attempt at a new low, we rush back above the EMA, we fade this range, now we have uptrend, break, new high, all without touching the EMA. There's no way that you can get in on this right here, and then you kind of start to go sideways, you get this breakout, most breakouts fail. I would honestly be worried about taking this long just because the uptrend had already just played out, and then I would really want to see like a clear 2 legs back. This is kind of just chop and then 1 clear leg back. So, and that's with closing below the EMA, so I would be afraid of it reversing back down with this trend. So I don't really like that long right there, but it does end up fading this range. We break out the highs, we pull back, we kind of get a breakout pullback, but the EMA is going along with it. But it does actually go all the way back down in, so it's not very clear. But anyways, we have a couple of breakouts, and then we do fade back in, push down, we break out of these lows again. We might just get this bigger range now, something like this. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So then you break out here, it fades back in. You can kind of see these 2 legs down here. Oh, whoops. But obviously it goes down like twice as much as that. And then you get this higher low, which I don't think that you would really want to enter on this fade right here, because you'd also have this short-term downtrend in play. But and you can clearly just get them off those 2. But this higher low, I do think this higher low looks a lot better. I'm going to draw this risk to reward. So you would see the highs right there. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think that doesn't look too bad as long as you can try to get out before the highs, because you would have to go pretty far out. It's not too bad because it is still touching it, although as you can see that would not have worked. So that's why it's probably best to just try to get out a couple ticks earlier than that, because you can see the highs right there. So anyway, we bounce off those highs. We go into this downtrend, break, new low. Let's draw this short-term trend down. So even that doesn't look too bad because you've been chopping in between the EMA, and you have downtrend, break, a couple legs down. The only thing I'd be worried about is something even bigger, and it does end up, yeah, so you would have been stopped out if you went for too big of a target, but yeah, it's kind of, that honestly doesn't look too bad, but I feel like I might have if I saw this, I might have even taken that and gone for 1 to 2, but I would have been stopped out. It just kind of looks, it really doesn't look too bad right there, but clearly it doesn't work out. But either way, that's probably going to do it for the day, and then we break out, and then we fade way better right there because we have these 2 bigger legs down. Which, let me draw those before I end this. Leg down, break, second leg down. And also, if you were to have drawn, say, like a more trend like this, you would have clearly gotten an overshoot. Yeah, this is a much better entry down here because you can tell that there's something there. So it's just a little bit sketchy, that trade. But either way, that's my day. So hope y'all had a good trading day. Yeah, I saw a lot of people have a good trading day today. I posted this trade, and then at the exact, like within the same minute, someone else posted this trade. They were taking it at the exact same time as me. And then what else? This trade right here, I had posted it because I got filled with a limit order on this trade because I didn't just take it with a stop. It triggered. I waited for this red bar right here to finish, and then I waited for it to trigger, and then I put the limit order right there. And then I actually had to wait 5 bars before finally getting filled on this pullback here. And I saw the same guy that uploaded this trade at the same time as me also uploaded this trade at the same time with me. So we got a couple of the same exact trades. And then I saw someone else uploaded. They tried to get in. They ended up canceling their limit order before this pullback here because they didn't really want to wait 5 bars, which is understandable. But yeah, I definitely do think that this is still worth entering on even after a few bars goes by. So yeah, that's going to be it for the day. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and yeah, I'll see y'all next video.